In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove the alternator and without moving too many, removing too many compartments and hoses and blah blah blah. The tools needed for this job is a ratchet, a 12mm socket, a 13mm socket, and a 14mm socket. And then you're going to need a wrench, a 14mm wrench, and a long flathead screwdriver, and needle nose pliers, some zip ties, and what else? Some extensions for to reach the bolts and stuff like that, and some black electrical tape. Before you do any work on the engine, before you remove the alternator, first you're gonna have to disconnect this terminal, which is a 10mm, and just move it to the side. The next one is another 10mm, which is the ground. Move it to the side, and then when you're all done and everything's back put together, this is the last thing you're going to put back on. And so how you could put it on, you put this one on first, which is the red one, which is the positive one, and then you connect the negative on there. Okay, and you're going to need a 10mm socket and a ratchet. All right, the first thing that you're gonna have to do is remove the serpentine belt, and what you want to do, you want to stick that 14mm ratchet right in here. And let me zoom in so I can show you. So that one, nope, it's right over here. Yeah, that you want to stick it inside of that bolt right there. The way that you do it, when you stick the ratchet in there, you gotta push that way. Find a way with another. How I did it, I got another ratchet and I chained it onto the other 14mm ratchet. I pushed it over this way, and then with the Phillips head screwdriver, I popped out the serpentine belt. It's hard to see, but I popped it out from right there. Let it hang in there. You don't have to take out the whole serpentine belt. The next step that I did was I got the 14mm socket, and I started removing the alternator from right here. There's another one located right down there somewhere. You'll see it, you know what I mean? And there's another bolt that you have to remove. This I don't know what size it is, but I think it is a 13, more like a 13. It's located right under here, like pushed up back there, so you got to remove that one. It comes with the little bracket. When you remove that, also you got to remove this cover right here. When you remove it, you want to unplug this harness right here, disconnect this, move it to the side, unscrew this. You need a 10mm for this one right here. You're gonna unplug this one, just pull it back, and then the other one that's right there, the other harness, you got to disconnect it, and it's going to be attached to some little clips. It's okay if you break them or cut them off, doesn't matter. As you can see, when I replaced the new alternator, I didn't put the little bolt that sticks out. All I did was just attached it back with some zip ties, as you can see right there. So once you do that, once you remove this harness, move it to the side, you get another zip tie, and then you just clamp it onto right here, whatever. Make sure that it gets on the way. You're gonna have to mess with it either this way or that way. The next thing that you want to do, that I did, was I removed that 10mm bolt. I moved it. I pushed this to the side as much as I could that way. I removed that bracket right there. It's a 10mm bracket. Put it over there, and actually this was one of the first steps before removing that bolt down there. You're gonna have to remove this guy right here in order to get that bolt down there for the alternator. So there's 3 bolts, one right over here, one that's right here, and then one that's hidden down there. So and yeah, you're gonna get cut up a little bit, just like I did. Let me see, I got a little bit of band-aids right there, but who gives a fudge, so I got the job done. And well, anyways, you're gonna have to get some hose clamps and clamp this shit, pull it all the way down here. Have some plastic bags, like maybe like 5 of them, and then when you pull this, if you can't pull it, what you're gonna do, you're gonna have to stick a flat head screwdriver, loosen it up from right here as much as possible from right here, just wiggle it not to break the hose. You pop it back, and then a little bit of antifreeze is going to spill out, and that's when you you grab the plastic bags and you squeeze them up and you clog it up so that this doesn't spill that much, and now you can move it around however you want in here. So then after that, what I did when I did that, I also removed the dipstick screw. Is, like I said, it's either a 12, a 13, or a 14 millimeter sockets. Just pull it out, and this baby, you just twist it all the way over here. You know what I mean? It's not gonna, you're not break it or nothing. The next thing that I did with the flathead screwdriver, I removed these little clamps. This one, that one, this one, well, basically all of them. And then what I did, a lot of people were saying that you have to remove this is a bunch of screws that are in here. I did not do that. All I did was with the 10 millimeter bolt, I removed this one, and there's just one that's in here facing that way. So I removed these two, and then I got an extension that was long enough to reach from right here, like a ratchet extension or some type of pull, and I pushed it all right here. So basically what I did, I grabbed this and I pulled it back as much as I could so I could give some space in there. And once you got all that out, what you do, you got the whole harness disconnected, you got this moved out of the way, clogged in with the plastic bag so it doesn't spill, the antifreeze doesn't spill, then you're good. Then what you do, you're gonna have to just pull it out and just move it like Rubik's cube. You're gonna have to move it all different types of forms and ways, and it's gonna come out right here. Trust me, that's how I got it out. I got it out through here, no hoses. I didn't have to remove none of these hoses, none of these things, nothing. You know what I mean? Like I said, only that screw right there, that screw right there, and this right here, and then this whole thing right here was right there. All I had to do is just unplug it and disconnect it from the little like these little plugs that are right there holding it down, you know. So then after I got it out, you get the bracket that's connected to the alternator, and I actually changed it out here because it's easier. Or you could change it, you put it in there if you want. It will be more easier. If you want, you could put the bracket, once you get the new alternator in there, then you just put it to the side and you screw it in there way you can. But the way I did it, I guess I did it the hard way, so I did it out here. I put the bracket in here. So once you get it in there, you're good. And then, like I said, the zip ties, I used them, some of them I used them to connect these wires back on here. You know what I mean? You know, I didn't mind putting that little bolt in there. I don't need it. You know, if you want to put it on there, that's on you. Okay. So then once I got the alternator in there, I did not connect the hose yet, this one yet. So what I did, I grabbed the 14 millimeter ratchet again. I put it on there, but before I did that, I grabbed like maybe four zip ties, and I looped them around right here, you know. And then the reason why I did that is because if you don't have nobody to help you out, you could use this when you put that 14 millimeter ratchet on there, and then you chain it with another ratchet, and then when you push it this way, you're gonna have to be quick about it and get some more zip ties and zip it tight, and that baby will hold it on there for you. And while you're doing that because you're going to put the serpentine belt in there, so you don't really need to jack up the car and take off the tire. Nah, man, I really thought I had to, but I actually I was able to do it like the way I'm showing you. Then with the long flathead screwdriver, you know, you could well, the way that I did, the way that you put it on, first you take it off of this pulley right here, the top pulley, not the tension pulley, the one that has the ratchet on there. You take off the belt from right here, and then you strap it, you put it on over here on the alternator. That's the easiest way I did it. I put it on over here, make sure everything was aligned, and then I pulled the ratchet that way. I tied it, and then with my hand carefully, and then at the same time just holding to make sure that it didn't snap off, I pushed it in there. And whatever I couldn't do it, I did it with the flathead screwdriver. Pushed it in there, everything, then made sure everything was aligned. They cut it off with some dikes, and that was it, man. You know. And then after that, you put everything back how it was over here, you know. And then before you turn on the car, you make sure that that the serpentine belt is aligned and everything is good and in its place, and you turn it on. And another reason why I changed the alternator is because at first I heard this like squeaking sound. I don't know if it was one of those pulleys, or I know it wasn't the tension pulley, but there's two other pulleys that are identical, and I thought it was that one, that the top one, the top pulley, that was making like a bearing sound, like a whining sound, you know. And yesterday when I changed this, the first thing that I noticed when it went wrong, the battery light turned on the dashboard, and the voltage dropped. It was going, the lowest it went was 11.7. It wouldn't go any higher than 11.9. I took it to O'Reilly's, it tested it, battery was good, alternator was bad. So that's another that's how I knew it was bad. You know, well, the first reason was it wasn't charging, so I had to make sure that it was not the battery or the alternator, but it was the alternator that was bad. So there you go. Oh, and then you don't forget to connect this back in here, and all those wires, and then connect this harness back in here. So it's very easy. It took me 3 hours because it was my first time doing this, but you guys should be able to do it maybe within an hour or so, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I didn't break no wires. Like I said, everything came out clean. It turns on nice, and now the battery is charging. You know, the alternator is nice. It doesn't make that sound anymore. So I hope you guys like it and enjoy it, and if you could help out, you guys can subscribe and give me some thumbs up. And thank you very much for you guys' support. I appreciate it. Have a nice day. And then once you're done putting it all together, and before you turn on the vehicle, or you could turn on the vehicle, don't forget to top off your antifreeze fluid, okay? And if you use the method that I told you guys about, with stuffing that this pipe with a bunch of plastic bags in there, but make sure that they don't get stuck in there. You know, just ball them up in a ball and stick them in there, and then the way that the liquid is not going to fall out. You know, you should a lot of the liquid is not going to fall out, just maybe just a little bit. So you might just need just a little bit of the antifreeze. But you could turn on the vehicle, and when you turn on the vehicle, you let it run. Just fill it in there, and just fill it to the fill line or whatever, you know. Then you should be set.